Hey guys, thanks for stopping by my channel today. My name's Tammy and I own Walnut Creek Bath Boutique. This is another twofer. That's right, I'm on a roll with these things. This is an Inspired by soap and it's a Never Have I Ever soap. I am inspired very much by Heather over at Bubbles by Heather. I will link her channel down below so you guys can go check her out. A few months ago, or maybe a lot of months ago, I don't know guys, I don't get to these things very quickly. A long time ago maybe. She used beeswax in a soap and she used it at quite a high rate, I believe. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I've never used beeswax in a soap before. So I'm gonna give it a go. I'm a little nervous about the whole using beeswax. So to make it worse, I am gonna add honey as well. I know Heather told me not to, just use beeswax, but I think I'm gonna use less beeswax than she used and add a little honey and see what happens. What I am doing is 2% beeswax and 2% honey. I have to process this big block of a 1 pound beeswax block down. I even bought some, what is this, bubble wrap for the honeycomb. I was so mad that I had to buy this great big thing of bubble wrap when I only wanted like this much. But I actually ended up having to use it to ship out a candle and a lotion the other day. So it actually came in handy. I was glad I had it. First things first, I am going to process this down. I think I will share that with you just in case you find that interesting. I'm a little nervous because you have to soap pretty hot with beeswax because it has such a high melt point. You can't let it get too cold or it'll solidify in your batch. So you have to soap hot. And then you have to keep it cold in the mold or it could crack or volcano. So I don't know what I'm thinking. Let's try. I'm basically just going to pop this whole thing in my pot here. And then I will pull off. How much do I need? I really should not be making 2 soaps at the same time, but this is what I'm doing. I need 2.12 ounces of beeswax. So I just left my wall of fragrances over there. I have chosen Aromatherapy by Nurture Soap. I've had this for a while now and I keep going back and forth whether I like it or not. I'm not 100% like smelling it and thinking, oh, this is great. But it kind of has an earthiness to it that I think is going to pair so well with the beeswax and the honey and just the whole vibe of the soap. All right, so I have, oops, just on my little mold here, a tray with a couple of individual molds. This is just about melted, and this is going to be very messy. Let me just get one of these wooden dowels. And I'm just going to pour right into each cavity. What I'm going to do is just leave this in the pot until I pull off what I need for my soap. Let me see, the temperature of it is 160. I think I need to soap closer to that 140. Okay, I'm going to move a little fast. This is, my lye water is 144. This is 159, but this is what I've been heating up in the microwave. So let me put it in with the rest of the oils and see where they're at. It's only 122, but I'm hoping it's warm enough. And I'm going to add hot beeswax and I'm going to add hot lye water. I hope we're good. I think I've got everything about ready. So let me go measure out how much beeswax. I'm just going to measure it right in here. Look what happened. Look at that. It's too cold. It's starting to solidify. But let me add my hot lye water in there and see what happens with that. It's 121. I'm tempted to pull some back off and get it in the microwave and warm this back through again before I get my stick blender in there. That's exactly what I'm going to do. So that's 164. So let's see what happens when I pour it back in here. 138. So we're a lot better. Let me just see if this is going to melt and smooth out. And it might smooth out with my stick blender. That's smoothing out quite nicely. I'm going to go ahead and get my Colorado oats in here. Quite a bit. And I'm going to stick blend all of this in and see what happens. And I'm going to go measure off my fragrance oil real quick before I forget to do that. And I'm going to go ahead and pour my honey in as well. Look at that color, guys. Wow. But I'm not sure it's emulsified yet. Let me look at it. It's much looser than I thought. And you know, I'm sorry, I think I've got you pulled in really tight. I don't know what I expect. I think I expected it to get thick really fast and come to trace really fast, but this is not. This is not even close to a trace yet. Look at that. That is crazy. So the reviews on the fragrance oil, Nurture Soap says they didn't have acceleration, but apparently some of the reviewers did. So I'm going to blend it in right before I pour. Definitely emulsified at this point. And it's probably full of air bubbles because I've been jacking around with it. But it's still not at a trace. I'm going to pour my fragrance oil in. I think it's about ready to pour into the mold. And yes, that thickened it up very nicely. I'm gonna get my little bucket of water out. I need to get ready for my next soap. Oh my goodness, look at that, guys. Look how quick that came. Oh my goodness. It's like chunky. Let me get it poured in and see what happens. Oh heavens. What in the world? Oh my gosh. Ugh. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Look at that. That is nuts. I honestly have no idea what caused that. Whether that was the fact that I was soaping so hot, or whether it was just beeswax and honey, even though together I used less than Heather did. Oh, all of those ingredients. I don't know if that's any good. And I did my bubble wrap for nothing. I think I'm going to hot process it. Dang it. I just don't feel comfortable with it. Dang it. I'm really kind of upset. All right, let me get my crock pot out. Dang it. I hate hot processing. I'll be back. It's going in the crock pot. And look how crumbly that is. Heavens, guys. I don't know if this is going to work. Maybe I should have stuck to just the beeswax and didn't try to get all fancy. Gosh, it's been it's been like 2 or 3 years. Maybe 2. I think I have done this on a video once. I'm just going to heat it up on low with the lid on. And I'm going to let it cook a little. Look at it separating. I honestly don't know. Look at that, guys. You guys are probably all yelling at the TV or the computer, phone, whatever you're watching me on, and saying, Tammy, duh, this is why that happened. All right, let's see if I can salvage it. Look how loose it's getting. Onto the back counter, on low. It's only been like maybe 10 minutes. Not even, I'm sure. Look, it's how separated it is. I'm wondering if I didn't have it completely emulsified, because it is completely separated in here, and I've never seen that happen. And normally I would be getting my hand mixer out, but I'm almost tempted to get my stick blender in here. I think it's, oops, I think it's loose enough for the stick blender. Let's see what happens. Hand mixer. Where is it? My goodness, guys, I'm all out of sorts. It's becoming translucent, which I think means that it is starting to gel and turn into soap. I think I want it to cook just a little bit longer, since I just stirred in all that separated out oils or what have you, whatever that was. Back on the back counter, on low. I'm going to let it cook another 10 or 15 minutes while I finish my next soap. And I will bring you back to let you see what it looks like. Then, do I sound dejected? I'm trying really hard not to sound dejected. I was so excited about this soap. All right, let's take a look. All right. I am going to take my beaters to it one more time just to try to smooth it out a little bit. I don't think it's going to get very smooth. Grabbed a clean mold. The problem with doing this is it's now, whether I wanted to or not, it's going to be a very rustic bar of soap. It's going to have plenty of air pockets. It just is. And I will bang it down as best as I can to keep that from happening. It's 165. I don't know if that means anything to anybody. The last time I did this, the edges were very dry and crumbly, but the interior of the soap was very nice, actually. I had to go back and look at that video that I did. It's been 2 years since that fail. I just sprayed it down with some rubbing alcohol so I can try to smooth out the top of it. I had such plans for the top of this soap. It was going to be so pretty. I was going to do the little honeycomb on 3/4 of the top and put some blue cornflowers or something on top. When I first started thinking of the design, backstory, I really thought I would do like a blue sky type of scenario, and I was thinking I would be doing the soap maybe with some blue color, or make just a little bit of blue soap so that the top could have a little bit of blue on it. And then I saw Soap Queen from like 3 years ago. She used blue cornflowers on half of hers. I'm thinking, okay, that would be a lot easier than making a small batch of soap just for a little blue accent. So that was my plan. Didn't work out, guys. I'm just gonna let it sit here. I'm walking away. I'm bummed about this soap. I need to go text Heather and tell her I failed. I'll see you in a couple days. Don't think there's going to be a lot to see here. It's going to look the same all the way through. It does have a variation in it. That's kind of neat. It has this variation in colors. I'm not enjoying the scent right now. To me, it's not the most pleasant scent. Okay guys, I wanted to come on here really quickly and do a lather test for this. It has been almost to the day 4 weeks since I made this soap, and here we are, cured and cleaned up. And I think it was maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago I got with Heather again, and I said, you know, it's kind of soft. I was concerned about that, and she said that the Beeswax soaps will always be just a tiny bit softer, but it's quite hard now. But I have an end piece here, so we're just going to do a bit of a lather test because I think the lather's quite lovely on this soap. Look at that. That's not a lot of work to get this lather. And the lather itself is very, what's the word? Like silky. It has a very, very silky feel to the lather. It's really nice. I like the lather on the soap an awful lot. All right, let me dry my hands and I'll be right back. What a mess that was. I actually had to start editing this video just so I could remember everything. It has been a month. In the end, very, very happy with the soap. I almost ditched the video or maybe even like put a new attempt in the middle of the video, just because, for one thing, this is an inspired by soap, and I do want to do a good job on a soap that is inspired by a fellow YouTuber or a fellow soap maker, and I hated to have such a fail on a soap that Heather inspired. But on the other hand, this is a Never Have I Ever series as well, and there's going to be some fails in these Never Have I Ever, so I want to keep that real too. I always want to be real with you guys. I maybe be too real sometimes. I shoot myself in the foot sometimes with that. Alright, so here's the thing with the scent. I thought at first maybe the beeswax and the fragrance were kind of like not a good mix, because I really thought at first it would be. But I actually think after curing for a month, because I did not like the scent when I first cut it. It was pungent. But I really like the scent 4 weeks later. It does have an earthiness to it that I think it matches this soap. It's just, you know, a light brown or a dark tan soap. That's all there is to it. There's no frills with this. And I think the scent quite perfectly matches that. So it really has grown. It's mellowed and has grown on me quite a lot. I do like the scent now. And I did not think I would when I first made or cut the soap. I still, to this day, do not know what happened. Now, whether the fragrance oil caused such significant separation, I mean, I know that it happened very soon after adding the fragrance oil. The soap was behaving really quite well until that moment. Otherwise, soaping at a very high temperature, I mean, I've never really soaped that hot before, so I don't know if that causes those kind of problems. I just always knew it could cause volcanoes. I don't know that I ever heard that it would cause separation like that. Heather did say, because I did send her a message and say, it's a fail. She puts her beeswax in with her oils from the very beginning, and she melts that down in with the rest of her oils. So if I ever do a beeswax soap again, I will melt everything down and make sure everything is fully liquefied and incorporated before I just add in all my other ingredients. And I probably should have rewatched her video, because I didn't rewatch her video, and she probably posted that 8 months ago. It takes me a while to get to all these things. So that's it, guys. A fail, but it turned into a lovely, lovely bar of soap that has a really nice lather. Really, really just silky and luxurious type of lather. So I'm super excited about that. Heather, thank you so much for inspiring the soap and befriending me. I appreciate you and your channel. So guys, if you don't know who Heather is, I will link her channel down below. You should definitely check her out. I will also link down below, if I can find it, her beeswax soap, so you can watch how it's supposed to be done. And I think that's it for now. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one. Bye.